Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody's doing well. Let us know if you're here in the comments, if you're tuning in, if you read the book. I didn't even put this as a banner option. Dang. I was like sitting here filling in my questions, but I would have to do this from my phone because I can't do emojis, I don't think, on here. Let's see. I was going to say if you read the book, to leave a green emoji, and if you didn't read the book, like a green heart emoji, and if you didn't read the book, leave a black heart emoji. But I don't have emojis on here, so hold on, wait, let me see. Hold on. Well, while we're waiting on me to type that, everybody let us know. This is random, just getting the conversation started. If you're currently reading anything, let us know what you're reading. So, are y'all reading anything right now? Are y'all in the middle of anything? Kaitlin, are you in the middle of anything?
I was like, who's gonna go first? Yes,
You're muted.
Of multiple. Right now I am rereading the first Magnolia Parks. Then I am also reading. I can't think of the name of it. It's on my Kindle. It's a mystery. It's a cozy mystery. I can't think of the name of it right now. And then I have not started it, but I'm starting tonight. House of Flame and Shadow.
I saw where you just got that one.
I just can't wait. So,
the first time I'll ever say this is that mine is a secret, and so I will talk about it on the wrap-up video on Thursday.
I love it. Oh no, like way excited.
Oh my goodness. Okay, y'all are gonna have to hear me type for a second because I was too busy listening to y'all talk about.
Is it weird that like typing is such ASMR for me? I love that.
Well, it probably sounds weird on here though.
I love it.
No, same. Much to my like office mates' chagrin, I got a clickety clack keyboard. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Love that noise. I want those ones that look like little typewriters. Like it look.
Yeah.
Is that what you got?
No, but it is the mechanical keys like that, but it doesn't look like it. I want one of those too that like actually looks like. Oh,
they look so pretty. And I'm like, I'd be typing so good.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I got it typed up. I'll pop it up in a second, but I'll let y'all know what I'm reading while everybody's still popping in. I have to show you a picture of it because I have an arc of it. So I'm reading Wish You Weren't Here by Gracie Ruth Mitchell.
I'm so jealous.
I am so jealous. I didn't know you got an arc.
Yeah, I saw her post about arcs and I was like, I don't typically like to read e-arcs because like I'm literally reading it on my phone and I'm just like, I'm on my phone enough. I don't want to read an e-arc. But I was like, but I never read books before anybody else does. Like, let me just this one time. Like, let me just do it. Just this one time. So I wanted to get it because I really liked Juniper Bean, and I'm planning on reading Heidi Lucy in April because it's set in the spring. But this is like a new series or I don't know if it's going to be a series. I assume so because it says it's a Carousel Cove novel. But it's really quirky. It's about like this girl who she accidentally lets loose a British genie from a British teapot. Like, and it's like, she's like, I thought genies came from lamps. And not her grandmother. I keep thinking it's her grandmother. It's her aunt that adopted her, but she's like granny age. But she is like, well, he's British, so he came from a teapot. That's why it's a teapot, because he's British. Oh my gosh. So, and her like, let me see if I can find it. Her mood board for this, I loved because her little like, that's the genie. You can't really see it. And I'm like, he's handsome. That's a good. They're both so cute, and it's set like on a coast, and it's like beachy, and I don't know, it's adorable. So I'm like 20-ish% in. I will say I'm not loving it as much as Juniper Bean, but that one was like cozy mystery meets rom-com, and this is just straight really quirky rom-com, and like you really have to suspend your disbelief because he's a genie. But yeah, so that's what I'm reading. But y'all
Yeah.
also
Is Juniper Bean winter?
fall.
Oh, it's fall.
Yeah.
I still might just read it next month.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I read it in the fall, but that's because I'm a seasonal reader. So
I am too, yeah.
yeah.
Did you feel like it added to the ambiance?
Yeah, because they live, I think, is it Autumn Cove that they live in there? I don't know. It's very small,
pretty.
like Gilmore Girls, small
Yeah.
town autumn type deal. But yeah, and then I saw where Courtney Walsh is coming out with a new book too, and I was like, well, I'm reading My Funny Valentine next month, so
I requested my library to put both of those in because neither of them are in my library's audiobooks. So I asked for both of those.
yeah. Oh, before I get into the comments a lot, I'm glad you asked because I was getting to that. So Jordan is not feeling well tonight. So if y'all could just, keep her in your thoughts and prayers. She may pop in the comments if she's awake, but if she's not, just know that she wanted to be here. She's just not feeling super well tonight. So, but let us know what you're reading. Leave a green heart. Also, if you read the book, if you didn't read it or haven't finished it yet, leave a black heart for us. So let's see who's here. Hi, Cynthia and Shelly. Hi, Sam. Looking forward to discussion. Thanks for being here. I'm so excited that y'all are here to discuss this. This is a good one. Hello. Okay, so lots of people read it. Yay. I feel like it was a pretty quick read for me, at least. It looks long, but it read pretty quick.
Yeah.
Reading Magnolia Parks, Book 1, Shadow, and Little Women. Oh, so many good books.
Shelly, you'll have to tell me what you're thinking of Magnolia Parks because she asked me if I thought she would like it. So I'm interested to know. It's definitely not a book for everyone.
Yeah.
Like it is definitely not a book for everyone. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts.
I've heard it's like if you liked Gossip Girl growing up, you might like it because it's just like drama and
rich people drama
things.
For sure. I love rich people drama.
It's not a clean romance. Well, they don't show. Like.
No.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought.
There's
like,
it's
about it, but
okay. Yeah, so there's no explicitness in it.
So it's kind of clean, but it's mentioned. Right.
I would say the language is the biggest thing, in my opinion. But
I was talking to Jordan about it because I was like, I'm not like super interested, but if like the right person talks about it and Jordan talks about it, I'm like, you just make me want to read it. She's like, I don't think you'll like it. And I'm like, well, I did watch Gossip Girl some. So, and I know what it is. Like, I know it's not like, but you just never know because nobody thought I would like Verity, and I gave that book 5 stars. So I was like, you just never know. But I don't know. I just have too many books. I'll probably never get to it, but I am a little curious.
Intrigued. Yeah.
Yeah. I always think about it because it's also a Peter Pan retelling, loosely.
Oh,
right?
I did not know that.
No,
I don't know.
Not Magnolia Parks.
Or is that the next one?
The
Daisy Hates?
Never.
No,
Never is. Yes, Never is.
But is none of her other as well? I don't know. There's like ships on it, so I wasn't sure.
I don't know. I mean, I do kind of. I can see some parallels now that you say that. I hadn't really thought about it.
Maybe it's just Never, but I thought the other part was as well, but maybe not.
Yeah, Never's the only one I know about, and I have not heard anything good about it.
No, me neither.
I haven't either.
So, I don't know. Reading On Thin Icing. Yes, the third in the Cozy Mystery series by Ellie Alexander. I voted for that one when you did a poll on your Instagram for you to read that one. Just finished Trouble on the Books by Essie Lang. I think you would love this Castle Bookshop mystery. Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Have I heard of this? I don't think I have. I got so many cozies, though. It's just hard for me to keep up with all these. I can't wait I keep wanting to say something, but I'm like, no, I'll wait till Thursday because me and Yvette are going to chat books that we read in January on Thursday, and there's just a cozy series that has my whole heart. I'm telling y'all. Okay, I've never seen this before in my life, so I'm gonna screenshot it and come back and read that later because it looks so cute. Come on the books.
It does look cute.
Oh, that does look cute.
All right, let's see. Currently reading Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. Awesome. Cross Country Wedding yesterday. I still need to read that one. I'll probably try to read it in the summer, I think. That's what I'm planning on. Hey, Holly. Just finished Dust last night, so next we'll be getting back to the Skyward novellas and finishing that series. Awesome. Only in chapter 4 of Dust, but I'm here for it. Okay, well, we will start talking spoilers at some point, so I'll just make you aware for anybody that's here that hasn't finished. Currently listening to Shadow and reading the physical book of Throne of Glass. I just finished Throne of Glass. I think we talked about this, Emily. But yeah, I'm planning on continuing that one. Reading Fox.
Oh, I love that author, Nadine
Brandes.
Yeah, I loved Wistress, and she just did a reel where she's like the one that gets asked for a sequel the most, and she like pulls up Wistress. Like, yes,
Believe it.
It was so good. It needs a second one.
Yes.
I am really excited about the new one she just announced. It's more like sci-fi, but it sounds really intriguing.
Yeah.
Yes. There's honestly so many like Christian fantasy / Christian sci-fi novels that are coming up that I'm like,
yeah,
yes, please.
Thank you for filling this void.
I mean, all of them.
Yes, like they all sound so good.
Hey, Heather. Currently reading The Fury and Ruthless Vows. Awesome. Reading Pause to Remember by Sophie Kelly. It's the last book in the series. Love it. 2 chapters out from finishing Dust and picking back up Mary by Nat Cassidy. Man, at this point, like as much as we're talking at the beginning, you could have those 2 chapters finished and be ready to discuss. Still reading Dust, but have less than 100 pages to go. Awesome. Yes, you read Dust. Tell us you got Great Theory's new book. I'm so excited for it. Yeah. I didn't know if I'd get it or not, and I did. And I was like, okay, I got to make sure I read it. It comes out on the 13th. So it's not a super long wait, and it's going to be available in paperback too. They just haven't. She won't do that one live until like a couple of days. Right now, it'll just say it's available on Kindle, but a couple of days before it goes live, it'll show the paperback, I think. So, okay, all of y'all have read it. Yay! Found a copy of Magnolia Parks at a library sale for 25 cents. So I grabbed it, but not sure if it's going to be for me. Yeah,
I get that.
Nice.
Yeah, I caught you. 25 cents. I knew. I saw that period in there.
Especially if it was the older cover. That's a.
Those are way better looking than
They're
the new
way
one.
better. The new one is horrible.
The new ones look trashy.
Yeah, they do look crappy.
Page 60, totally invested in Beach and Mags, the language. Yeah.
The language leaves much to be desired for sure.
Have 1 chapter left in ABC Motors, and then I will start Legendary.
Ooh.
I am going to read more Agatha Christie because I just read my first one. So I think I'm just going to read like her popular ones though, because I don't know. I want to watch the movie adaptations. And so like more Murder on the Orient Express, I'm probably going to read that one next and just do those. I don't know if I'll read like all of her backlist because I don't like, she's not like a 5-star author for me, but I'm intrigued enough after reading. And then there were none. So
yeah.
I want to read more Nadine Brandes. I haven't read from her before at all. So I think the first one I'll read from her will probably be that new one because I think that's what I'm most interested in. The older cover of Magnolia Parks. It's intriguing.
Ooh, nice job.
Things worth a lot of money on Pango right now.
Oh, I know.
I know. Oh, I looked and I was like, these people, they know they're not making them anymore. So they're like, let's just charge $100 for this book or $50. Ugh. But I get it. I mean, make your money that way. All right. Let's go ahead and start chatting Dust. But as we get into that, has everybody here like at least maybe not read the original Peter Pan, but is everybody familiar with Peter Pan? Like, I'm sure if you read it, you are, but I feel like I heard a couple people say, like, I've never even seen the movie, or I've never. So I'm just curious, have you guys seen the movie, or have you read the original Peter Pan? This book was actually, I think, more inspired by J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan versus the Disney adaptation. So I don't think you would get anything less, like, for not reading the J.M. Barrie one, because I have read it, but even if I hadn't, I think it wouldn't have affected my enjoyment of it. But I think we chatted about this. I don't think y'all haven't read it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I have it. The story, age-old story. I have it, but I haven't read it. But I'm planning to read it after Dust and Shadow.
Awesome. It's dark. Just know, like, you think this is dark. That's a whole nother.
Oh yeah. No. I know the premise, and like I've heard like what he does, the boys and stuff like that. So
yeah. Bratty, that's a good word. He's definitely bratty in the book.
Yeah.
Oops. Haven't read the original. I don't think you need to if you don't have any interest in it. Like, I didn't love it, but if you want to, have at it. Thought there were some fun references and connections, but I don't think anyone would miss out. Yeah, I agree. Seen the movie, haven't read it. Read the Mina Lima edition, which is gorgeous. I bet you enjoyed it better just because you had those elements.
That would be awesome.
Haven't read it. Read the book, but it's been a while. Definitely felt different about Peter's character reading the book than I did watching the movies. Yeah. Because all the Disney movies are based on horrible stories, like just dark stories. And they're like, let's glamorize this.
Although we watched Peter Pan, and I was like, in the beginning, when he comes in, and I was like, you're a little doo-doo head. Like, you're not being very nice. And
yeah.
Like, as a kid, I was all into it, but he's like, girls talk too much.
Yes.
But then he's sweet at the end. But
yeah.
Yeah, and then when she says something about like, I'm Wendy, darling, he's like, Wendy's good enough. Like, I don't need any more details.
So, like, all of her whole name, and he's like, just Wendy.
Yeah. He also says, well, get on with it, girl. I was like, woo.
Things we didn't catch as kids.
Yeah, where I didn't care at all back then, but now I'm like,
Red flag.
Yeah. I was just here for Hook and the alligator the whole time. The crocodile.
This was like, you said you watched it a ton as a kid, Lisa. That was like probably my favorite. That and The Little Mermaid were my favorites growing up. So that definitely inspired the book pick. Not to mention that I had been talking to Yvette about watching Peter Pan, and I was like, well, let's just all get together and do the book, and then we can watch Peter Pan all together. So that just worked out. Haven't seen the movie in a while, but I remember the gist of it. Yeah. Favorite movie adaptation is Peter Pan 2003 live action one. Is that the one with Jeremy Sumpter, the blonde? I think it is.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I feel like that's about that time. Yeah, I love that one too. Okay, so jumping into the book, and I guess like these could potentially jump into some spoilery questions. So just so everybody's aware, we're not filtering spoilers at this point, but gonna start out with some kind of easy questions. So just starting out, did you have a favorite character? And if so, who was it? I feel like we're all gonna have the same favorite, but I'm just curious, like, who your favorite character was.
You want to go, Yvette?
Me? Yeah. Mine was, now I can't remember. Lily?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiger Lily? Yeah.
Lily was my favorite.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. See, I was like, we're all gonna say her. She was so good. And I feel like she really had her moment, because in the movie, she's there, but she doesn't have her moment.
She doesn't have a single word in that movie.
Yeah.
I realized.
Yeah, and I'm just like, look at her. And like that. Okay, wait, no, I'll save that. But there is another question that I will talk more about Tiger Lily in, because there's like a favorite scene moment that I was just like, I just love her. Like, she is amazing. And I love that, like, I wasn't expecting to love her either.
Me
Like,
too.
not that I was expecting to dislike her, but you know, you have Peter Pan and you have Claire, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna like one of them.
No,
When
it
in
was
fact, they both really annoyed me.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I
Lovely.
feel like Claire's character development was non-existent in this book. I just feel like, for the most part, like maybe a little bit at the end, but she was dumb. Like, you know better, girl. And how do you not know he's Peter after all this time? She's like, no, he's not.
No.
Girl, he is right there. And then Captain Hook going with him. No, you are not that dumb. Well, apparently she is.
At one point, she was just like, I know who this boy is. And I was like, so you know he's Peter? And then the next chapter, she's like, you're Peter? I was like, oh, I thought you already knew.
See, I take that to mean like, which you guys are probably right now that I'm thinking about it. But when I read it, I took her saying that as like,
His heart.
yeah, like I know who this boy is.
Yeah. But I was like really hoping she also knew who that boy was.
For sure, true. Yeah, it makes more sense. Yeah.
I understand that like she got to know what was his name? Was it Ben? Is that what she called him? Ben, yeah. I don't forgot what she called him. But she got to know Ben, and as far as she knew, his character was so far detached from what Peter's character was and who she knew Peter to be. So it makes sense, I guess, in that regard that she wouldn't piece together that he was Peter. But it was so obvious. I feel like as the reader, though, maybe we just have that luxury. But I'm like,
but she also, like, in their world, she's watched Peter Pan, the movie, because it's like, it's a, how do you say it? Like, she's seen all these things, read the book, and she knows all these things, and she's all, and he's like, yeah, I taught the pixies how to, or like, the pixies raised me, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And the statue, how does he stand by the statue and you not go, is that the same?
That's a really good point.
He's even playing.
I didn't even think about that. That's really
I
good.
do like her. She needs, I hope she gets some character development in the next book.
Yeah.
So, oh goodness. Okay. Sorry, I went on a total side tangent with her, but oh yeah, from the 2003 movie, the crush I had on Jeremy growing up. Yep, for sure. Remember seeing it the day it came out in theaters. I love that. Okay, so many of you said Lily was your fave, which is what I expected.
Mm-hmm.
The Pixies, I love them. Yes, there were some cute scenes with them. I love that. Lily, she's the only one who ever shuts Peter down in Peter Pan, so it's nice to see how that was translated in this version. Yeah, that's true. She always had the most inspiring words and messages. She did, though.
Yep.
She did. Oh. Yeah. I'd be shocked if somebody says somebody else besides Lily, because she was such an obviously likable character. Kind of took it like Claire knew Peter was changing and maybe wasn't Peter anymore, if that makes sense. I don't know if she did know, though.
I don't think so, because then she was so mad when she found out.
Yeah. That's where my head went too. But I mean, hearing you guys talk about it, yeah, it does make more sense that she like did not know.
No.
And clearly, like at the end, she still didn't trust him because she goes off with Hook. So, character development, girl, you got to get it in the second book.
Yep.
I always like the villain too, so I'm a bit partial to Hook. Yeah, I know how everybody was talking about like how he says love, and it reminded you of Once Upon a Time. But I just couldn't see this Hook like that. I don't know.
No, he definitely was more like
he was different.
Daddy. Like
like daddy.
Like graying.
Not that kind of daddy.
like kind of, but like graying a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had the same reaction to probably the part where she said, I know who this boy is.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she's talking about.
Like, do you?
I agree with y'all about Claire, yeah. Yes, Lily. It bugged me when Peter lied all the time, so he's not my favorite, and Claire was very naive, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I do, like, I also think, giving Claire the benefit of the doubt, too, with how much they did lie, like, how she's supposed to trust him. But I hate, like, with Tiger Lily, though, because, like, she doesn't trust her at this point either because she lied too. But she was such a good friend. Oh.
I will say, like, and she's supposed to be, what, 20 years old or something? So it's like, it's hard to be that naive.
Yeah.
And having gone through a foster system and all, like, you wouldn't be very naive.
Yeah.
No,
this is marketed as YA, though, too, which, I mean, the characters aren't, like, teens, but it is marketed as YA. So I can see that. Like, it reads a little bit younger in that regard.
Yeah, it does.
So the statue would look just like him. Exactly.
So funny.
I thought the statue thing was because it was always dark when they were in the park. Well, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it was just dark. Liked Claire's representation of anxiety and insecurity, but yeah, she frustrated me a lot. Yeah, that was like the best part of her character for me, was just being able to relate with what she was going through with that, with anxiety and stuff. So
that's what I'm hoping we see the most character development from moving forward. Like the naivete and all of that it can be developed too, but I am excited to see her like really come into her own, in Shadow.
Being a foster adoptive parent myself, oftentimes kids act much younger than their actual age due to trauma. So that's personally how I understand her now. That's a good point. See, this is why we have discussions. So you guys can say, hey, but actually look at it this way. That's a good point.
Yes.
That's good. Thank you for bringing that up, because I wasn't thinking like that.
Yeah, I was thinking more like you would think she would just not trust anybody, like the trusting. And she did talk about that a little bit in there, where she's like, I've never been able to trust anybody. And I was like, well, you're trusting these two real quick,
Yeah.
And then you're trusting Hook real quick. And I don't know, she just kept on jumping on anybody's bandwagon.
Yeah.
I think that may have been a testament too, though, to her desperation to find her brother, like, even though she didn't want to trust anyone, it was like they were her only option at that point.
I'm still mad that like they didn't tell her about her brother. Like at the very end, we find out what, because I kept thinking, I don't know if y'all thought this or not, but let me know if any of y'all thought, like, is he dead? Like, did y'all ever think that at any point? Like, he's not even alive?
I didn't ever
think I started thinking that. I was like, well, they kept saying like she's not gonna find him like she expects him, and I'm like, oh, he's dead. Like, did he die or something? Because like Tinkerbell died. I was like, oh my god.
Oh, I know.
That was so gruesome, Tinkerbell part. I was like, oh.
I know. I wasn't expecting it to be so intense.
It hit.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who else I really liked was the police officer, Darling.
Yes.
I really liked him and the pup, the dog.
The Never Beast.
Yes. I love
all I can visualize is the Tinkerbell movies with the Never Beast. Like, that's how I see it, as that cartoon of the Never Beast.
Yeah.
I love that.
Anyways, I liked them as well.
Claire reminded me of Elsa from Frozen with her anxiety and her fear from the dust in the beginning. Yes, that is such a good comparison.
That's what I thought of too.
Because, with hurting people with your magic, but it can also be like a beautiful thing. I love that you said that, because that just makes me love it even more, because I love Frozen too. So that's such a good point. Sachi would have been a young Peter, but he aged up. Oh, that's true, because he was aging a little while he was in London. Y'all are making some good points.
Did you guys understand that timeline though? Like, he made it seem he'd only been in London for a couple months, like that they'd only been stuck a couple months, but he was 19 years old. Like, I got lost there, because I was like, if you're supposed to be a young boy in Neverland and you came here and you've only been here a few months, and he's like, and I'm now aging. Was it like going really fast, aging him fast or something? Or
but didn't he come to get the brother like 6 years or something before? So
but he's been in Neverland since then. He went back. So I kind of lost.
I think I missed the time too. Like, I don't remember.
I didn't really.
I got lost there. I was like, I don't really understand how you're old and your back is hurting at 19 years old. Like,
I mean, if his growth spurt happened that quick, you
that's
know,
what I was wondering. I was like,
he gains
is this
5 or 6
going
years.
real fast?
Yeah.
So if anybody else understood that.
A reaction to the hurt she felt from Peter and Ben.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was hard.
I don't remember which thought. Oh, maybe that he was dead. Okay, yeah. It's the reason she chose who she did at the end. Okay. Thought he was dead too. Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, they are not going to get to this. But then there wouldn't be a second book. I guess I wasn't thinking. Highly recommend if you have not seen those because, like, they're so good. I think being on Earth aged him more quickly.
That's
Yeah, like maybe it was speeding it up because he'd been gone so long.
Yeah, that was all I could think of, but I just didn't feel like it was explained.
At one point they did say months. He was more like 12 in Neverland. I wonder if the aging is faster than normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. May have just been convenient to make him this age. Yeah, same age as Claire.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah. That was gruesome. So, like, I don't remember. Didn't he rip her wings off or something?
Mm-hmm.
Like the brother?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was gruesome. I don't want to relive it.
Which
That's
was
a good thing you don't remember it, Shelley.
Yeah. It felt so strange. Like, it felt disconnected from what she kind of, her themes were dark, but she never was like explicitly talking about like that type of stuff. So when that happened, I was like, oh, like
But all of a sudden you're reading a horror novel.
yeah, she was alluding to a lot of things, and then all of a sudden she's like, rip the wings off. Like,
Yeah. Oh, poor Tinkerbell. Thought he was rapidly aging. Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, you blocked it out because it was traumatic.
Was
It
traumatic.
Out of nowhere.
I think he's aging faster than normal, which is why it hurts so much because he's technically hundreds of years old in the kid's body. Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, the brother
Yeah.
did it. They were talking about it. I don't remember when. It was close to the end.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, when he's talking about how like Connor had changed.
So moving on from that, and since we're already kind of chatting about like different scenes, what were some of your favorite scenes from the book?
My two favorite scenes. So the one was when they were dancing with the fairies. It was just, I loved that scene. I thought it was so magical and so cute. So that one, and then the other one was just all of the references to the Tangled frying pan. Like she was all like Tangled frying pan, like always talking about that. Anything with that, I loved it.
Oh, I love that. I didn't even think about that. That's a good one.
That is good. My favorite was probably when she's like first trying to really fly on her own. And he like sees her and the dust is like flying around her, you know, or whatever. So magical.
I love that. I marked mine if I can find it. It's on like page 260 or something. 250. And it was, is that the page? Or was it, hold on, maybe it is 260. Hold on, I'm going to find it. It was 260, and it's just Tiger Lily. This is the part where I said I'm going to wait because, like, to talk more about Tiger Lily. But it's the whole conversation she had with her because I got teary-eyed, and I was like, so, like, she says, you're a creature of magic, Claire, born for Neverland, and nothing can undo that. You have value simply because you exist, because you are here. And she's like, I wish that were true. And then Tiger Lily says, I know it's hard feeling like you're missing a part of yourself, but if you keep letting the whispers around you tell you who you are, pretty soon they will suck you dry. I lost myself in the shadows, in the doubts. That magic in your veins means you have a choice, Claire. You were created for more than to bear the weight of your shadows, but you have to choose to no longer let them define you. You have to choose to let the light shine through the shattered pieces, which that's the quote that, like, the sure and stuff, but, like, oh, and then she says, who do the stars say you are? And I was just like, oh, that's just what gives me all the biblical references to, like, who do the stars say you are? And I was like, oh my gosh, like, who does God say that I am? You know, like, I just kept pulling the Christian themes out.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved that. I don't know. All the Tiger Lily parts were some of my favorites because that's when they had some of the best conversations, I think. So,
Yeah, I felt like she had Tiger Lily was the most references to our relationship with God and everything,
Yeah.
like telling you how important you are and everything, where you didn't have that in a lot of other places, but she really was giving that kind of love to her.
yeah. Ugh. So good. I think that was his last ditch effort to get Claire not to leave for Neverland. Love the moment she stopped herself from falling into the water. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In the pixie scene. That was good. Enjoyed the scenes where Claire used her dust to heal.
Oh yeah, with the little pixie, that was nice.
Yes, to the pixies. Also love the scene when Peter freed them from the tavern.
Yeah, that felt very I liked a lot of the scenes that felt very much like when Peter fights Hook in the movie. There was a lot of those types of scenes in this book as well, where he's just like, and then he crows, and he's very like, it's very fun having those kind of fight scenes when they win.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Almost cried during Claire and Tiger Lily's conversation. Yeah, it was a good one.
Really good.
Love the talk about shadows and light.
Mhm.
Mine was when Claire was first trying to fly on her own. I really enjoyed Tiger Lily's chats with Claire too. Awesome. Yeah, the scene where Tiger Lily talks to Claire was my fave, and any scene where Tiger Lily told off Peter. And the scene when Claire and Lily met and was like, "You're not what I expected." Yes. Those were good. Kind of going in with that, and like you can reference scenes if you have any references, or just if not, just like general themes or whatever. Like, what Christian themes or messages did y'all recognize throughout the book?
I think, you just read one of the bigger passages and everything. Yeah. But just, it was a lot of, believing in yourself and your self-worth, and that God has a plan for you, and that he loves you just the way you are, and you come to him as you are. So that was just like very reoccurring throughout the book that I was seeing.
Yeah.
Definitely. I felt like Lily's character, to me, she felt like kind of an archetype of the Holy Spirit for both Peter and for Claire, I felt like, reminding them both of truth. One of the biggest things, I think, and why Peter probably was my second favorite character, because I really identified with him in the sense of like him seeing what he used to be and knowing that he's not that anymore, and outside people still seeing him as that, and hearing Claire talk about himself that way. And I don't know, I know that that's like a little bit of a stretch, but it like reminds me of how we can sometimes feel like we are who we used to be. We're not a new creation. And so I love that Lily was kind of that character for him too,
Yeah.
saying like, kind of telling Claire too, like, he's, he is who you think he is, he is who you know him to be or whatever. But that really stood out to me, him struggling with that.
That's good. I didn't even like pull that out. I mean, like there were parts where I thought about his growth and stuff, but just the way that you worded that, I was like, oh, that's good. Like, yeah, because like people like Claire and other people still seeing him as who he was, but there was growth there. And there were points where he did revert back, because sometimes, when you're habitually sinning, it's not easy to get out of. But that's good. That's a really good point. Hold on, I have to adjust my dog. She's moving. I really thought, well, especially like in that passage that I read, she talks about how you belong to Neverland, and that I think that's what she says, like you belong to Neverland, born for Neverland. And it just made me think of like the whole not of this world deal, like we were, made for heaven and stuff too, and like we're in the world but not of the world. And I'm like, she's in the world but not of the world because she's from like born for Neverland and all that. So I feel like that was something that I kept thinking about. And then, I mean, there's the obvious with Peter Pan in general, like the childlike faith and the hope and just like holding on to that. And I think there was such a good explanation of, if I can find where I marked it, but talking about growing up doesn't mean, okay, let's see. One up in page 106, I think it was it Peter's chapter? Probably. Yeah, it was Peter's chapter. When he kept observing that man and he was like, if this man can believe in magic and stand for justice in a way I'll never understand, like, because he kept saying he didn't want to grow up because of how his dad was, and he didn't want to be like his dad, and so he was getting hope there. And then he was saying that maybe growing up doesn't always mean carving out the magic from your soul. Maybe, just maybe, growing up can be a way of letting your dreams expand, like a falling star becoming a magical island resting in the middle of a galaxy. Maybe growing up isn't letting your soul die, but entering into another adventure. Of course, then he says, or maybe I'm daft, but but he's thinking that. And it's like, sometimes I think, because I still very much am attached to my childhood. Like, I still love, it's hard. I think, I don't know, for some people it may be easier than others and harder than others, but sometimes it's hard to think, like, I don't know, does adulthood still have magic? Like, does, holding on to that. But then the Bible talks about all the time about, having a childlike faith. And that's why it's important to have it, is because even as adults, that's what it takes. It's called childlike faith for a reason, because as a child, you don't have all the worries and the concerns, and you just have faith. And as you age, I think sometimes the stresses of the world come in on you and you're like, like, it makes it harder.
Yeah.
So I liked seeing kind of that parallel a little bit too, and just the importance of still having hope and faith in those moments, and that you, even as you age, you can still have that. I feel like C.S. Lewis does a really great job of, like, in his books and stuff too, and in like a lot of quotes I've read from him, like, he is very the embodiment of childlike faith. So
Definitely. Yeah, like his quote in his dedication to his goddaughter of I don't know if it's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, or if it's The Magician's Nephew, but when it says, like, one day you'll be old enough to read fairy tales again.
Yeah.
He is. You're so right. I love him.
So good. Let's see. The feelings of belonging. Yeah, finding a place where you feel at home and you can be yourself in that place. That's good. I think Lily overall just showed fruit of the Spirit so well. She was patient and gave understanding and comfort. That's good. I love hearing, like, what everybody else thinks, because some stuff I might miss, Yeah. I feel like book 2 will dive so much deeper into light versus dark versus and good versus evil. Yeah.
Yeah, because it talked about, with her dust too, where
oh yeah,
it could heal or it could potentially kill. And so it was just like how you use your gifts and your talent. You can use it to harm, or you can use it to better the world. I thought that was really interesting how they set her up as well.
Yeah, I like that too. You'd think that she would come to that, like, realization. That's another thing where I'm like, with her naivety, but I'm like, you see, when you are anxious, this is when it gets bad. But yeah. Something else that just made me think of something else, and it's like a fleeting thought. Where'd it go? Oh, they talk a lot in the book about, like, and in Peter Pan in general, think happy thoughts, and that's how you fly. And that's, like, helps you in your faith of, like, flying. And I'm like, that's such a good reminder too, of just, like, if you continually, like, think happy thoughts, it's like renewing your mind, like how we're told to renew our mind daily in order to, like, create new neural pathways in our mind in order to help us propel us on to choose joy and all that stuff. And it just kind of fed into that for me in a lighter way. I mean, it doesn't talk about it a lot, but in those moments I thought that's a really good parallel to thinking happy thoughts compared to like renewing your mind and like choosing joy and stuff like that. So
that makes me think of and I want to get the actual address correct when I say it, but yeah, Philippians 4:8, when it says, finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there's anything worthy of praise, think about these things. That's what you talking about that made me think of.
Yeah, that's good. Faith in things unseen like magic, but for us in the real world, we believe in God who is unseen. Yeah. Never thought of using the faith and trust and pixie dust from the classic Peter Pan in a religious context, but it was such a good way to tie it in. Yep. For sure. I loved watching Peter slowly grow a conscience and become less selfish. I agree that Lily was kind of like the Holy Spirit in his life, letting him know he needed to check himself. Yeah, for sure. Peter's trauma with his father made me think about the Heavenly Father building trust in the truth of a father figure when the one you have isn't great. Yeah, that's good too.
Very good.
Love that. Page 181, conversation between Claire and Lily. Lily asks her, are you falling? Yes, I think I marked that. Wait, hold on. Did I mark that? I bet I did. Look at that. I did. It's marked right there. I'm like, wait a second. I marked that. Yeah, and time that back to faith and how we may not see God, but he's here. Yes. Let me just read that part. Okay. She says, Claire, do you feel that concrete beneath your feet? Lily's steady, earthy voice seems to pull Claire in, and she turns to face the princess. Yes. Are you falling? Claire looks puzzled. No, of course not. I watch the girls intently, curious, but not daring to speak and break the spell. Lily cranes her head at Claire. Why? Why aren't you falling? Because the rooftop is holding me up. Exactly, Lily smiles. That's what it's like, the magic. It's there under your feet, holding you up. You can't feel it. She knocks her ebony knuckles against the dusty rooftop. Can't quite touch it. You just have to believe it's there because it's so much bigger than you or me. You were born for this, Claire. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's so good. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm glad you mentioned that because I'd forgot that I tapped that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I thought the same in that conversation. I'm not the best at tabs, but when I was reading it, I was like, oh, this is so good.
I only tabbed like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 times. So I didn't tab like a ton, but there were some things I was like, oh, this would be good if I need it to pull it for conversation. So thought the same in that moment. Yeah. Can't remember who said it, but the quote, the light is far brighter than the darkness. Yeah. That I think probably tabbed that too. I just don't know where. Yeah. The whatever passage. That quote reminds me of John 1:5. All right, what's John 1:5? Who can get there first?
If you can, no, I don't know.
Oh, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness does not overcome it. Yeah, that's good. Identified a lot with how Claire's thoughts would cause her to spiral out of control. I loved when Peter didn't leave her, but walked through the storm to embrace her and calm her. That reminded me. Yeah, that's good.
He keeps on going. That reminded me.
Oh, of Jesus and us. Yeah.
Although, can I say that I was very annoyed that he did that twice for her, right? Like he did it the first time, and it showed that he would always be there for her, even when she was going through all that. He wasn't going to leave her, so he does that, and then he does it again for her, and she's like still going with Hook. I was like, what? And she thanks him, and she's like, let me heal him. And I was like. And then she does all that, and then she's like, also still leaving. I'm like, why?
Yeah, for sure.
But aren't we like that sometimes too? Like he's always there. He's always, he's not going anywhere. And we're like, I'm going to go over here for just a minute.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Oh, I was so annoyed that they had this whole like coming together moment, and then she left. It's like,
yeah.
Darn it.
Wonder if Lily is supposed to represent Jesus. She gave up her kingdom to come to earth to help Peter. Oh, that's a good one.
It is good.
Yeah, that's good. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's very true.
Isn't that what we do as humans? Yep. Yeah, no, that's what I said. I was like, well, we be leaving sometimes too.
Mhm.
That's probably what she was thinking when she wrote that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm very interested in the next one because, like, did you see the cover? Like, in the first one, it's her
Falling.
flying, and in the second one, she's falling. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what's gonna
I know. I feel like I'm gonna fly through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited for it.
We kind of chatted about some of this with like Claire and stuff. Was there anything that you didn't like about the book? If I like, this was in the Jay and Barry books, but it's something, I don't know if it's British or what, but when he says core
Yeah.
a lot, I'm like, oh, stop saying it. Just
Yeah.
stop. But he does that in the original too. That was just a little irk thing of just annoying, but
Yeah.
I
Oh, for us.
yeah.
Well, just the one, which is the one that I don't like, is just I didn't like the discussion of her, jumping off
Yeah.
the buildings and then tiger lilies. That was just a struggle for me to get through
Yeah.
personally. And I don't know if it elevated the book in any way for me, because sometimes it's a very fine line. It's very hard for it. Sometimes it's like, okay, I can see the elevation of this, what it's supposed to be saying, but I just really did not feel it was necessary. But that's also just me. So those were the only, like, the bigger ones that I could think of, but the like smaller one is core.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. I don't think that it necessarily added anything to it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I think that we got the picture of how hard it had been for her, to lose her brother, to go in the system, like to have this thing she didn't know what to do with. Like, I don't think that it was necessary, but
Yeah,
I would say probably just some of the things that we've already talked about. Like, honestly, I didn't really think about most of the plot holes y'all brought up, so now I'm kind of annoyed by those.
Yeah.
I think I was just so captivated by, like, I felt like the writing was really good as far as like poetic. I think I was just so caught up in that. I don't even think I really realized it, but yeah.
I think the other thing, Keisha, I kind of said to you, I was like, I like this book, but it feels really like a preamble for me. Like, the entire book just felt like,
or like a prologue at the beginning of the book.
Yeah. I was like, okay, are we gonna go? Are we gonna go? And then about like how long is the book? 300 pages. So about like 250 pages in, and I was like, they're never gonna go. I was like, this is just the, like I said, the prologue to them going. So I felt like it was very nicely written, but then I was just like, nothing is happening. It's just like they're just there, and so that was something I struggled with a little bit more.
But then at the end, it's like boom, 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 like all this stuff happens. So I'm like, woo.
Definitely.
Yeah. So it was. I can see like a pacing issue with it, but I think it was still good for me because I was able to read it so fast. Like Kaitlin was saying, it just flies by, and it's good writing, and so it didn't feel like a lengthy book because I just felt like I was constantly flipping pages and stuff. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to find the comments. Think she's like us in that we know better, but we still turn away sometimes. Yeah. Fly through it. Yes. Fly. Started it on audio yesterday. Yeah, I listened to the audio, and I'm going to listen to the audio for Shadow too because it helps to get through. Didn't like how Claire went from so scared and closed off the beginning to so brave to go off with Hook. That seemed to happen so fast. Yeah.
That was another one that I was so bothered by, where the cop is just like, hey, like, don't go off. And she's like, you know what? This guy kidnapped my brother, probably killed him. Gonna go see him. Like, wow, okay.
I don't recall Core from the original. Yeah, it's in the Jay and Barry. Maybe not. I don't know if you were talking about the movie or the Jay and Barry book, but it's in the Jay and Barry original classic because it's some type of
Does it stand for something?
classic British. It's in a lot of old stuff. Peter Pan. Let me see if it'll tell me what it is.
Expressing surprise, excitement, admiration, or alarm. Now, where did it come from?
Yeah. But it's just in the original classic, and they just kept it in this. But I don't know. Yeah, I just don't like it. It's just random to me. Repetition of it. Which, I mean, the repetition of love got on my nerves, too, if we're being honest.
I will say, I was like, hey, Jeff, you can call me Pixie Girl. I like that nickname. I thought it was so
like that.
cute. I thought it was so cute.
I didn't like how Peter knew Hook was after Claire, but continued to get irritated and stomp off, leaving her to be kidnapped. That's a good point.
Yeah,
True.
that
Like,
did
what do you
happen.
think's going to happen when you leave her?
He went to go get sweets.
Yeah. Him and his cake.
Yeah, I need my sweets.
Didn't like the shock of Tink's death. Yeah, agree. Felt like the learning to fly part could have been cut way down and had just one longer book instead of 2 books. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't understand Claire falling for Peter. It felt rushed, but then again, she didn't go with him at the
I
end.
agree.
I did think it felt rushed.
I also it felt like he was only in love with her for her magic, and that was just me.
Yeah.
But he just he's like, oh, she's magical. I'm in love with her. I was like,
I think she was trying to make that there was just this connection, like a soulmate connection. I feel like is what she was trying to do.
Yeah.
But
yeah, for me it was like, if she didn't have the powers, would you love her?
Yeah.
I want to know that.
Where I marked something that I thought was adorable, and now I don't know where it's at. Didn't I? I think I did. Hold on. Nope, that's not it.
Shouldn't be too early on because he didn't meet her.
Yeah. Well, I only have 8 tabs, so I'll find it at some point. Let's see.
Y'all keep talking. I gotta go potty.
Okay.
I'll be back. Sorry.
You're good.
I got ready before I got on here. I was like, I'm going first. I have my tea.
Okay, is this it? Let's see. Maybe this is it. Yeah, okay. So I think it's when they kiss or something. 281 is where it's at. We are the same, she and I, stronger, better, more whole together. I close my eyes for a moment, but once they are shut, Claire disappears and the world goes cold, dark. I can't imagine a world like this one without her light. I was like, ah! Without her. Yeah. Something breaks inside me, and before I even know what I'm doing, my mouth collides with Claire's, my hands tangling in her hair. Her arms wrap around my neck, and I pull her closer, her small body nestling so perfectly against mine. Our kiss is magic, soft and glimmering, then growing into a force that sweeps through us like a blast of light. Claire's dust wraps around us, and our bodies begin to rise higher and higher. I love that visual, though, of even as we ascend, I have not the smallest inclination to look at the world below, only to hold this stardust girl tight in my arms, deepening the kiss. If only I could stay like this, stay with her forever in our never, never land. Oh my gosh, just gut me.
I liked actually the beginning of that chapter where he's like, you took it. She's like, I'm sorry, what did I take?
The kiss?
You took my hidden kiss. I was like, oh. Yeah. And then they talk about the thimble, which is kind of from, I think that's in the book, or I know it's in the movie, but it's in
the book too. It's a little bit different in the book.
Yeah,
but
but I was just like, my hidden kiss, and I was like, that's hilarious.
I don't want to leave off the last part, that thought too. He says, because this caring for someone is not what I thought it would be. It's not losing who I am. It's finding my soul interwoven with another and chasing the stars together. And that might just be the greatest adventure of them all.
So good.
Yes, it was fast, but that part I was like, swoon. And then it just all goes downhill from there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah, I agree though, Sam. I thought it was a little. I mean, for everything else that took forever, them together was real quick.
yeah. Yeah. But obviously, I mean, but they're not together now, so there's still some development to be going on there.
Yeah.
I didn't like Hook. He seemed a little bit lecherous. And that bothered me. Love. Yes. Yeah, for sure. He was not my fave. I was shocked that we never got to Neverland in 3. I know! That's why it's a duology, though. It's like this one's in London, the next one's in Neverland.
Well, and I kept thinking it too because, at the very beginning of the chapters, it's like London, England. London, England. Like, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's saying that because at some point it's going to be like Neverland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it say at the very end when they come into Neverland? Is it like what?
Does it change?
Yeah, like one thing.
What does it? I don't even know if I noticed.
No, it isn't.
No, I bet, but it will in the next one.
Yeah, but I thought
every single chapter gonna say Neverland on.
Yeah, there's no point in having London, England on every chapter if it's always London, England.
I'm going to Shadow to see.
The very beginning was a separate place for her, but I don't need you to go throughout the rest of the story. Once they meet up, they're in London, England.
Yvette, I had the nothing is happening moment too.
Yeah. Okay, that was around probably 200 pages, 250. I was like, okay, we're still here.
Does it say Neverland?
Yeah, I'm looking at the back.
Every single chapter.
Spoil.
What a waste.
Yes.
What a waste of ink.
To the very last chapter in Shadow, it says Neverland.
Oh my goodness.
Can you imagine if it said something else as the last chapter and you just spoiled it?
Well, I thought that as I was flipping. I was like, I'm going to
It's like, and heaven. Ooh.
It kind of feels like, I was just going to say, it kind of feels like they could have been maybe like one book.
I think it could have been. That's what I thought too.
Like cut out some of this and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Computer.
Didn't like that it ended on a cliffhanger with not a ton being accomplished. But it makes you want to pick up the second book though.
Yep.
That's accomplished.
Uh-huh.
She's like, how can I get them to buy another book? Let me do this. Yeah, but that's valid. I don't really feel like there was a lot going on. It was just a lot of prep. So didn't like Claire's character. Yeah, she was tough. It's a bit too drawn out for me. Started slow and didn't pick up till the end. Almost DNF'd. Oh, I'm sorry. Hopefully the second one will be better. Cleo.
She's
baby.
Come to the chat.
So cute. Honestly, thought it would have been a stronger story without the romance between them. Yeah, stakes of a simple friendship was not enough for her to be hurt. I agree.
Yep.
Pixie Girl was so cute. Loved every time he said it. Yeah.
I did like that.
Slow burn romance with book 2 would be better in my opinion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Give it a 5-star writer for finishing. The ending got me. I felt like it would. In the last week or two, my rating has changed. Yeah. I sat on my rating until the last minute. I thought about not rating it until after this discussion, but I solidified it right before we got on, and I think it's still the same. So we'll chat about that in a second.
Yeah.
Taking his hidden kiss, that whole thing made Peter seem so adorably immature for once.
Yeah.
One book. Yes. Is there only 2 books? Yes, it's just a duology. So. Hi, Elise. No worries. 3 stars is really good. Hook kept saying love after literally everything he said. I agree. Love, core, Pixie Girl we like, though.
I do like Pixie.
I liked love. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for love. So.
And Once Upon a Time, I liked it, but with this Hook, it was like, it gave me the ick. It's like, no, do not. This may be a tough one. I feel like I'm going to give a generic answer, but do y'all or anybody in the comments, are there any other books that you would recommend to people based on if you like Dust or not? I have a recommendation if I can find it. It might take me a minute.
I did not think of this ahead of time. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. No worries.
Let me think.
And if anybody in the comments has any, like if you like Dust, you might also like this book. I just like to ask just in case.
The only ones, and I'll look a little bit more, but definitely the Wistress by Nadine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because in general, I just really liked that one. It wasn't a dark fantasy, but it was definitely very, very heavy fantasy. I felt like it was really good.
Well, and remind me if I'm wrong, but isn't there an element of Wistress too where like her gift, she doesn't know like it's good and bad type of a thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking so, but
yeah, this isn't going to be like Peter Pan, but I think along the lines of if you like Christian retellings of fairy tales, a couple that I've heard like so many people talk about, the Wonderland Trials by Sarah Ella is like Alice in Wonderland, and I think it's supposed to be kind of like maybe more. Well, no, it says fantasy, but I feel like there's like games or something in that one. That's one I've heard a lot of good things about. And then the Color Theory series by Ashley Bustamante, the first one is Vivid.
Ooh, that's pretty.
I've heard lots of good things about that. And I don't know.
Are these YA, did you say?
They are, yeah, young adult Christian fantasy.
Vivid. Who wrote Vivid?
Ashley, and then her last name is spelled like Bust, Amante. I don't know how to say it. It's a fancy name.
Bustamante.
Yeah, she has that's a trilogy.
Oh, that's so pretty.
And it's like a magical, maybe that's not a retelling, but it's like a magical, I don't know. I get a lot of my recommendations from April on Instagram, from April's Library. She reads a lot of Christian fiction, and she reads a lot of she reads quite a bit of everything, like Christian romance and fantasy. So a lot of this stuff that she recommends, I would say just like go check her out if you're looking for anything similar to. I actually saw, so Amanda is where I got this recommendation from Book Lover Amanda. But then I also saw April post a reel about this, and I shared it in Revive, like in the stories a while ago, because it was like one of those like aesthetic reels, like where they show all the imagery, and I'm like, oh, this is good. So yeah, I would definitely recommend going and checking those ladies out too.
So very, very wide stretch here, but just going off of the what I was talking about, what I connected with the most about like Peter being, trying to be like this different person and people not getting it.
Mm-hmm.
If that element speaks to you as well, this book I just finished this month, and it's Love in the Storm by Mandy Blake. And I know, like I said, this is a
cowboy. Is that the cowboy, or is that a different one?
No, this is the same author.
But not the cowboy.
Romance series is really good too, though. But this is really, really good, and it is very strong. I think maybe that's why I picked up on it so much in Dust, is because I was also like reading this at the same time, and they were very similar in that way. So this is fantastic. So
I have her on like the first in the cowboy romance. I have that on my TBR. I'm like, I need to.
It's so good. It's so good. Her writing is really, really good.
I think it's funny when like I try to, if I ever am reading more than one book, I always try to make sure I'm reading, like fantasy and romance, or I never read two genres. Like, don't want to do fantasy or mystery, because I'll get them really confused. I guess romances doesn't matter as much, but the other ones, like, can't concentrate. But it's so funny where I'll be reading completely different genres, and I'll, like, pick up on two things. I'm like, they're so similar still. I'm like, they're not at all similar, but I'll somehow pick up on some nuance like that and just be like, these are so similar.
Yes, that's how I felt for sure. So like I said, it's a very weird, seems non-related, but
I like that though.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm definitely going to pick up that author either way. So
remind me the name, Kaitlin.
It's Love in the Storm by Mandy Blake, and Mandy is with an I.
Major ick, yeah, about the love thing. Love reminded me of Johnny Depp in Pirates. But see, it would have Johnny Depp saying it is like swoon though, okay? But like this hook gave me the ick, y'all. It just wasn't the same.
But they're like the same age gap.
Yeah,
Definitely between Johnny Depp.
Enjoyed Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson.
Oh.
Why does that sound familiar? That author, she writes middle grade books, doesn't she? I think she has. Tiger Lily. Oh, that cover looks familiar.
Nope, don't know that.
Young adult fantasy retelling. Before Peter Pan belonged to Wendy, he belonged to the girl with the crow feather in her hair. What is this? That is okay. My interest has been piqued. Oh my goodness. Is it like, and it's about Tiger Lily. Oh my gosh. Okay. I mean, I should have known that from the.
I love how excited you are about it. Whereas, like, I did not like Tiger Lily in the Peter Pan movies, where I'm just like rude, like going and snuggling on his nose like that. Not allowed.
Yeah. I have a couple of friends who read this and rated it 4 stars. So that's good. That's promising. Thanks for the rec, Stephanie. Rated it 4 right after forgetting about the first half. Yeah, we'll get into, I'm about to ask y'all's ratings. Wonderland Trials is really good. That's good. That's the Alice in Wonderland. I think it's just a duology. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if there's any more. The Land of Stories series. It's not Christian, but it's clean middle grade and follows 2 twins, Alex and Connor, as they fall through a magical book into a fairy tale world. Yeah, I've seen a lot of kids that I used to be a children's librarian, and a lot of kids really like that book. The same concept of falling into a magical book and like classic characters or fairy tale is The Book Wanders by Anna James. I can't remember her name. But that's a good one too. I will do my best to remember to do that, Shelley. Land of Stories, I need to get back to that one. Yeah, The Book Wanders. It's really good. I read the first one. It was really like the world building for that being such a short book was like surprisingly well done for being so short. Yes. Okay, so everybody share what was your final star rating for the book?
So mine, I did not post it because I was waiting for our discussion. So mine is a 3.5, but on Goodreads, I think I'm going to round down. I'm like struggling, but I think I'm going to round down. I'm still, and my rating system is like 3 normally is like, it's not bad. It's not offensive or anything. It's just not like something I would like overly tout about.
Right.
But Throne of Glass, like for comparison, Throne of Glass was a 3-star for me, and then like the next 2 are 4 and 5 stars. So it doesn't mean that I won't continue the series. So
right.
It's a 3.5 for me, and on Goodreads it'll be a 3 just because of the length of it and feeling like it could have been one book.
Yeah. What about you,
Kaitlin? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with a 4. I really, really liked it. But to your point, Yvette, I think that I feel like the next one has the potential to be like better than this one. So I'm actually hesitant because I didn't rate it on Goodreads either. I was waiting until we did this. And so I don't know, with everything everybody said, now I'm kind of like, maybe this is more of like a 3.5 for me because
don't make us.
Are we all gonna rate this 3.5?
What?
Because that's what I'm rating it to. But that's
okay,
not
here's
a
what you
bad
do.
rating.
No, not at all. But I was going to say, Yvette, you do 3.5 and round down. I'll do 3.5 and round up, and we'll balance each other out.
We'll be balanced on the ratings and everything.
Yeah. I did a 3.5, but I rated it a 3 on Goodreads. So, but I I think like what I'm trying to do this year with my star ratings is be more honest. And I was teetering between a 3.5 and a 4. And in the grand scheme of like everything I read in the month too, I think just thinking about what feels like a good rating, I feel like it deserved more than a 3, but it wasn't quite a 4. And so it's just kind of my good midway point of that's kind of where I fall. So, and I think
I agree.
I'm trying to get out of that headspace. Last year and years before, I just, for whatever reason, I'd be like, I gave this a 3, but then I would talk about it like it was a 2. I'm like, I need to distinguish better what these things mean to me because 3 means good, 2 means okay. So like I'm having to implement the half stars, and I don't want to because Goodreads doesn't, but Storygraph does, quarter stars even. I'm not going to do quarter stars, but so I just keep up with them.
I mean, with all the updates, we all say it. Like, the one update we want.
Yes.
Ooh.
You think as many times as we have all shouted it from the rooftops that they would update
All we
it.
want is half stars, please.
All right. 3.5 for the target demographic 4. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Got it.
3.5, 3.5. Are we all going to rate this 3.5? Rush character development, surface plot, and 2 quick romance took it down for me. Yeah, I get that. But I still loved I flew through it as I've said 20,000 times, so it was enjoyable.
Yeah, and I liked the themes behind it and everything. So
yeah.
It has good bones too. Like the story itself, I feel like has good bones.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. It does. 3, but think I'll rate the next one higher. Yeah, I'll be curious. I'm hoping the next one's a 4 for me at least. So
I'm so bad about I honestly need to sit on ratings more.
Yeah.
Because I finish a book and I'm like, that was the best book ever. And then I'm like,
some books that though. But then there's some books I'm like, I need to wait.
Yeah, I do that. I'll just be like, look at it like a day.
Yeah.
You're thinking about it still.
I think I rate on the reader's high. I need not to do that.
Yeah. 3.5 rounded up to 4 for Tiger Lily. Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
4, 5, even with problems, really enjoyed my time with it. Yay. Rated at 4. It was a little drawn out for me and slow paced, but I did enjoy the faith tie-ins and themes. I will continue with book 2. Yes. Guess I share my rating. No, that's totally fine. There was a couple of people that shared a little scene. For the majority of the book, I was thinking I would want to read the next book, but the ending kind of changed my mind, so I may give that a read sometime. Well, I'm just saying we're reading it next month. So I am. So y'all are welcome to buddy read. Still need to finish it, but I think it will be a solid 4. Awesome. Wouldn't want to read the next book, but the ending changed my mind. Yeah. 3.5, but a 3 on Goodreads. I didn't rate it on Goodreads yet. Looked and must not have gotten around to it. Yeah. 3 on Goodreads, but a 2.75 on Storygraph. I think book 2 has potential to be high rating. Yeah. Sure. 3-star for me. I rated book 2 a 4-star. Oh, you've already finished book 2? That's good.
That is good.
Promising.
There's hope.
Yes. I would hope so in this story. Oh, I love that. Okay. So with all that being said, anybody reading Shadow with me next month?
Yep.
Yes.
I am.
I'm reading it.
There's nothing formal like I've mentioned in the post and everything, but I just can't. I'm like, we're doing a bi-monthly book club, and then I'm like, well, I want to read this and I want to read it with other people, so we're just gonna buddy read. So I just sneak it in there, but it's less pressure to do. It's not like we have to come on and do a discussion. Not that I don't enjoy this, but it is time consuming too. So it's just a more chill off month. So yeah, let us know if you're going to be reading Shadow. Also, I'm reading My Phony Valentine, which is not Christian, but the author's Christian and it's clean. So I just felt like that was a good time for me to pick it up. I picked it up last year and I just wasn't in the mood, but I loved the first chapter, but I just wasn't in the mood. So I was like, I have to read this.
I love that this is your chill month and you have 2 buddy reads for this.
Really though, I have lessened the amount of books I'm putting on my TBR each month, but every freaking book that I'm reading is a buddy read too. And I'm like, then everybody's like, when do you want to read this? And I'm like, okay, look, I got you and 6 other people I'm trying to read
in line.
And I'm like, oh no, why do I do this to myself? But So I don't know. This week is my stress week because of the X's and O's readathon this weekend, and I'm trying to read 3 books, which it was originally just 2 until I got this arc of Wish You Weren't Here, and I was like, oh gosh. So I'm trying to do all that. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? I don't have to do this to myself, but I'm just crazy. I do the same. I rate high while on the mountaintop of just finishing. Yeah. Had to jump straight into book 2 because I was so upset with the ending. I remember you messaged me and you were like, oh my gosh, I have to know. I don't blame you. Yes, absolutely reading Shadow. Yay, I'm so glad y'all are reading it. We'll just chat in Discord. If I know like some people don't use Discord as much, but if you want to chat about it, we'll be in Discord. So, or you can message or whatever. That's fine too on Instagram. Already ordered book 2, reading both Shadow and My Phony Valentine. And she said she's coming out with a new book now that's like, what is it called? My Lucky Charm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Titles are so cute. Oh, adorable. I love that. All right. Well, I know everybody's going to want to know. So just so you know, our March book pick will be announced on Valentine's Day. It is going to be very fitting that it's announced on Valentine's Day because of what the subject matter is that we're going to be going through with our book. So I just thought that was a good time to announce it. So you have to wait until then because I'm me and I don't announce early. So it's just to look forward to,
Yes.
So it will be announced then, and then everything else will be like normal. The end of the month, I'll announce hosts. But since you all are here, I will go ahead and announce the host so you all get a spoiler. So it is nonfiction month. So it's a nonfiction book. So the host for March is going to be Kaitlin, Jordan, and Lauren. So that will be a fun month to join into. So we're going to do that. And then spoiler alert for May, you also might see Yvette back. Anyway, I don't plan ahead or anything. I am going to have some new faces too. I'm just working with some people on different times that are good for them too and trying to find like good fits with like the books and everything. So March book pick, Valentine's Day, keep an eye out. Also, if anybody, I didn't put this on like a banner or anything, but if anybody still wants to submit like a reader review or anything like that, I don't think I have enough selfies to post. I think I only have like 2 selfies to post of like a collage. So if anybody wants us to submit one, I'll do a collage. If not, I don't have to, but I'm like, it just looks fun because we all read the same book. So I try to implement it, but, and then, so if y'all still want to, just send it in Discord. If not, don't worry about it. I just probably won't do a collage this time because I don't have enough pictures, but the reader reviews, I do have a few of, so I'll post those on the Revive Instagram like I did 2 months ago. With our last book and just put some that because that helps people who like find our page and just see, oh, these are what all these people thought about the book. So if y'all want to submit those, just do that over on Discord, or if it's easier for you, you can send it in a DM on Instagram, whatever you want to do. So where in the world did I leave off? Okay, totally reading Shadow. Try not to leave unfinished series, especially because they read quick. Yes, isn't that so satisfying? You'll just be starting and finishing a series super quick in the new year. So
love a duology.
We'll definitely be joining. Yay! Probably next month. I'll definitely be checking it out in the future. Yes, book 2. You got to see Connor in action for myself, but I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared too.
Me
I
too.
know. Don't know where it's gonna go.
Yeah, like he's gonna have a pretty big redemption if you gonna sit here and rip out Tinkerbell's wings. I don't know.
I don't know. Like
I predict
I'm
he
feeling
doesn't.
redemption in that.
Yeah, I predict he does not.
Yeah. Not sure.
Won't be reading Shadow next month. Gotcha. Well, no worries. It's there if you want to, but I understand if y'all, because some people may not have enjoyed it enough to continue, and that cliffhanger just got me. So
yeah.
Yes, thanks for joining. Loving the book club. Aw, glad you're here. Yes. The selfie with the book. With the book. Selfie with the book. Because the one you sent me, April, was with your review, and I've got that one up. So that's different. I'm doing a like selfie with the book to do a collage in stories, and then I do reader reviews that has like your picture and then your review and your star rating. So it's different. Yes. I don't think Connor's part Never Beast. Oh my goodness. Hey, that Never Beast seemed sweeter than what Connor was described as, though.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and sign off for the night, but no worries, Shelly. Don't worry about it. But thank you. I hope y'all enjoyed, and we will see y'all again in a couple of months. But I hope y'all have a good last couple of days of your January and have a good February. And we'll be chatting about Shadow and My Phony Valentine soon. So. All right. Good night, everybody.